Hello, everyone. I am not in my usual spot. Felt like doing things here in the living room. I'll change of pace. Who knows? Maybe it was the solar storm messing with my head. Hope you guys are all doing well this evening. Hopefully, no adverse medical issues due to the solar activity. As you can see, No Shave November was it is what it is. No Shave November plus 1 day. Can we get either Denver sucks or happy birthday Top G in the chat? It's Top G's birthday today. What's up, Charlie? Anyway, I figured probably some questions. Whether look at all those Denver sucks in the chats. Gotta love that. I figure there's probably some questions. Well, there's always questions regarding space weather or climate or Earth's disaster cycle, the solar micronova, the magnetic pole shift, the geomagnetic excursion that is beginning here on Earth. But figure we may have a few extra questions here, given the fact that we had a nice pop from the sun this morning, or the nice pop hit Earth, and had some strong geomagnetic storms as we reported in the morning show. So let's let the questions roll in. And Peachy, Enlil is not an acronym for anything. Enlil is a Sumerian god. You did spell that correctly. Use your internet. Search it up. Are you ever going to make a video debunking flat earthers? I did that years ago. I debunked the entire 200-point flat earth Bible. It was pathetic. Anyway, why is there a majority of pops from the... I can't read this fast. Hey, Ben, beard looks good. Thank you, T. Cole. Appreciate that. As always, I will do my best to answer as many questions as possible. However, because of how many come in, 90% of most questions are not going to get answered. I will try to get to every single super chat. Joe Peterson, yo, what's going on, my friend? But yeah, so let's fire them off here. I'm not going to spend too much time online here tonight. New major article on pole shift. Did you see it? No? Want to send it to me? I don't mean to pick on you specifically, but I get this all the time. They're like, did you hear about the whatever? And then they don't post a link. It's like, want to let me hear about it? Want to let me read it? If there is some new article on the pole shift, I would love to see it. Yeah, absolutely. Chris, what's going on, my friend? Jackie, that's a funny comment right there. Did you look into the Cotter Corp Superfund site in Canyon City when you considered the location for Observer Ranch? I know exactly what that is. It is not near Observer Ranch. I like how everyone's like, did you think of this before you built it? Did you? I thought of everything. Shh. Everything. Elizabeth, hi. Thank you for the teal pair. King Wacky, thank you for the teal pair. All right. I really needed that in case you couldn't tell. The desalinization procedures need to begin early in this live stream, I suppose. Mr. MBB333 is one of the biggest frauds on the entire internet. I have zero interest in anything that idiot has to say. And if he did a video on something like that, it's probably a very old article that I've already covered in the morning news. I'm not going to keep the salt out of this show, am I? It's going to be salty. I can tell already. What should I expect during a geomagnetic storm? What's your plan for all the prisons only 3 miles from the ranch? One, they're a little more than that. Two, have you ever been out to this area? Have you tried walking around in this area? Good luck. Also, when you are there, the last place, like if you broke out of that prison, the last place in the world you would walk is directly towards the ranch. Literally every other direction in 360 degrees. Not to mention the fact that, did you know that there are prisons in parts of the country where thunderstorms take the power out every single summer? What do you think happens? Do you think when the power goes out, all the doors just pop open? Do you think the guards are just going to let them all out? They're all going to die in their they're all going to die in their cages. End of story. I have thought of everything. So if anybody has any questions on the relevant science or the relevant space weather happenings, I would love to hear them. Heath, hello, my friend. How's it going? Good to see you. Well, hot springs around the country go crazy during the event. I suppose you mean the Earth disaster cycle. The answer is yes, and also all around the world. The waters below will come forth. How to stop this? There we go. Okay. Oh, did somebody just call me smug and pretentious? Yeah. Yeah. Do you think the duration of the electrical induction event will be minutes or hours? Thanks. If you mean what, from the current space weather event or from the solar micronova? I don't know what you're asking me there. Tony, no, they do not know nova yet. Do I think the Wasatch Front is a good place to be during the event? I don't know what that is or where that is. See any aurora in your area? Unfortunately, it was cloudy here in Colorado Springs, and it was cloudy most of the day as well. Jackie Rocco, there is no such thing as an accurate expected aurora forecast. Doesn't exist, unfortunately. Bees coming your way post first spring V swarm. I don't know what that means, but CP for kids, hello. Good to see you here. Yes, I am a Libra. Has no bearing on any of this whatsoever, but okay. Can you tell the electric universe theory without the weird Mars, Venus, original sky stuff? I don't know. Can you watch my old videos, or do you need me to literally take hours and hours of carefully crafted and sculpted information that I took from a PhD level understanding to stuff that anybody on the fucking earth can understand and put it all in a nice packaged free video for you? Or would you like me to repeat it all right now? Wankers. Vic Van Winkle III. That is a hell of a username, my friend. You gonna get any questions about the solar storm or Earth's magnetic pole shift? Or Earth's magnetic pole shift? Don't tempt me, Nathan. Wow. I can't even keep up with the chat. Yes, Chris N., that is my birthday. Hoping to see you on Timcast soon. Yeah, me too. That'd be nice. I quietly am a fan of Tim. What's my estimate of the current decline in the Earth's magnetic field? I presume is your question. I'm guessing we're somewhere between 25 and 35% down, which would mean we're somewhere between 65 and 75% full strength. That's just based on all the auroral records that are taking place. AMOC collapse when? Hold on, let me text Jesus. Sup, J Money, when will the AMOC collapse? I will let you know when he gets back to me. Would a satellite with a strong magnetic field be able to protect the Earth during the pole shift? No. No. Fun idea, though. Do the poles let in much more of the solar radiation than the equator? The answer is yes, but that's misleading because even though that is where it comes in, it is very evenly distributed, especially through the ionospheric waveguide. The induction from the auroras does indeed hit the polar region a little bit harder and the high latitude areas a little bit harder. But in terms of how that energy affects the atmosphere overall, no, it affects everything pretty much on the same level. See the 500,000 size UFO near the sun story. Not the old orb one, but it looked like a comet. I did not see that, T. Cole. Am I still your user photo? G. G. Or were the effects of this storm bigger or smaller than you expected? How? I don't really know what to expect anymore. I've been keeping track of this stuff most of the day. We've had an increase in electrical fires, system outages. I heard that one of the biggest mobile carriers in the UK went down for several hours. A lot of people don't realize this. It's more than just electrical stuff, though. Anything that's wide scale and conductive has issues as well. So that would be water pipes, natural gas lines. And there have actually been a couple of those issues reported today as well. But in terms of what I expected before it impacted, I don't know. It's hard to really even guess. But at a level 3 KP7 geomagnetic storm, I do expect to see those upticks in the electrical fires, the system outages, the glitches, things like that. And I have been keeping track, and we've been seeing those today. Matthew, what's going on, my friend? Question. I woke up this morning, got myself a gun. Nope, that's not what you said. Bawling, I believe, an hour after the flare hit. I've only had that happen one other time years ago. Is that normal for a solar flare? Emotional fluctuations? Emotional fluctuations are normal, but a suspicious observer should never wake up bawling. What's your plan during the solar micronova? Mariana, you are intelligent. Aaron Dick, thank you very much. Good to see you. Sue Erickson says, love the new book. Had 3 major strokes in 2015 during CMEs. Love your saltiness. Still need to do more research due to my memories not being so. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Sue. By the way, if you did not get the new book yet, if you pre-ordered it, most of them have gone out. I think that just the very last few we have to send out. We did take a couple of days off here. But at the link below in the description box, the Shopify link, not only do we have the new book, Earth Disaster Cycle, got a couple of copies of Weatherman's Guide to the Sun. Not very many of them, but if you have been wanting to get that physical hard copy, that is now in the link below. So, yeah. All right, back to questions. Anyone else have a bad headache today? No. Thanks for asking. Any advice for a 20-something-year-old observer going back to school with an interest in science and engineering? They're just going to teach you a whole bunch of bullshit in school. A whole bunch. I wish I had better advice, but I don't. Bradley Smith says, Ben, theory, Earth's 90-degree tilt isn't due to mass, but the disconnection from the sun's magnetic field and temporary alignment with the galactic current sheet. Once through, we realign with the sun. You get imagination points. I do know this. The ice weight, once you unlock the crust, is enough to tilt. Whether or not that's the only factor, I obviously can't say. I don't have a crystal ball. I wasn't here 12,000 years ago. It's an interesting theory. I want to say maybe that could contribute a little bit, but I can't say yes for sure. And the ice weight is enough to do it once the crust is unlocked from the mantle. Good question. Nate says, followed you for several years, but have a hard time keeping up. It would be cool if we provide personal experience data in relation to health-related events. Like last night, my heart was having several palpitations. First, I am sorry to hear that. 2, that would be awesome, but like, how would I even begin to handle that? I don't think you guys understand what it takes to make these morning news and to make sure that there are no important papers missed in any journal on this earth. It's more than a full-time job. And if I wasn't a speed reader with hypothymesia, there's no chance I'd be able to pull off what I do pull off. So I don't even know how I would handle a data set like that, but such a thing would be super cool if it existed. What's the EU theory for the lunar lava plains? There is no EU theory for that. The moon was volcanic at some point long ago. I used the day to study catastrophe geology in my backyard, Long Valley Caldera. No headache. Ooh. Well, that's a good place to do it, virtual cockpit. Interesting place to be living, but yeah. Where does God play a part in all of this? Polar shift, micronova, and so on. Oh, how nice when somebody just gives away that they haven't done their homework. Claude, who asked the question about where does God play a part in this? Look below the video in the description box for Earth's disaster video. It not only goes over all of the scientific evidence, but it shows why science and religion are now married together because of catastrophism. Please do the homework. Research for us, Daddy. Yes, Aaron, I will. Worry not, son. Got you. In your geographic location, should someone plan on having to float self and supplies prior to accessing possible structures, surface or subterranean? If a float is likely, how realistic is it to tether to ground assets? I would say not super likely to tether to ground assets. One, you don't know how high the water is going to get. So how long do you make your tether? Two, it's not just water. It's rocks, trees, houses, cars, other things. Very good chance it's going to get cut. In my geographic location, I can't imagine the waves getting here. Just no. I'm a mile up in the sky and I'm as far away from the ocean as you could possibly be. And with the direction of the tilt that is expected this cycle, there's no ocean that's aimed at us anyway. So I am not personally worried, but hopefully you can use some of the words that just came out of my mouth to think about it. Let me text Jesus. Yes, T. Cole, that's what I said. Let me text Jesus. He hasn't texted me back, by the way. Ben, please just ignore the knuckleheads at this point. Oh, I'd love to, Robert, but it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun. How long do you think the flood will last during the event? A day or two? Sorry for the simplicity, but a day or two. Windy, Wyoming, thank you for the teal pair. Appreciate that. How do I feel about Antarctic ice loss this year in particular? It is nothing extreme. Nothing at all. Do not pay attention to mainstream news. They just fabricate and overblow, and anything they can do to literally just global warming propaganda. Like, that's mainstream news. Okay? Just ignore them. Some of you guys are laughing right now. I can hear you from here. Will the Great Lakes tilting be as catastrophic as the ocean coast? Obviously not as catastrophic, but if you literally have a lakefront cabin, yeah, you taking a hit. Would rubber coating on your roof possibly protect some electronics and impacts on your body and house? No, and here's the reason. The roof is only standing between you and the cosmic rays coming down. Now, cosmic rays are going to be an issue, but the bigger issue is induction, and that doesn't come down. That runs horizontally. Look up induction effects. It's not a direct line of sight from above. It's when the energy is circling in the auroral oval, when it's saturating the atmosphere, the electric currents just begin at the surface level and in the ground. So Rubber on the roof's not going to stop induction, and if you're trying to stop cosmic rays, rubber's not the best choice, although it's probably not the worst one either. Are we really going to the moon next year? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Olympus Mons, a good place for a base on Mars. These are cool questions, but like, I don't know. I don't know if that volcano is long dead or it's going to explode during the micronova. If it doesn't explode during the micronova, digging a base into Olympus Mons would be fantastic. If it blows, you are completely toast. And who in the world could possibly guess which one of those it's going to be? You're absolutely correct about faith and science. I know, but not convinced in the timeline. Many Christians are young earth believer, and I'm not exactly convinced in the millions of years in evolution. Well, that's unfortunate because where that comes from is, one, misreading the Bible because the Bible doesn't say that. And two, misunderstanding or not being able to wrap your head around certain science. I mean, I understand which sciences are complete nonsense and which ones are not. So, for example, carbon dating is largely garbage. Argon, krypton dating. For certain things, oxygen and chlorine isotope dating. It's very legit science. I also have a lot of faith in some of the stories. So, for example, the Zoroastrian texts or some of the stories from the Indian continent where they have literally records from the last 4 disaster cycles. Maybe it's even 5. They're not making it up. They're not lying. Somebody said somebody has a good question, but I mean, I'm not just going to go scroll through what is now 1,000 comments just to go find it. The crust wouldn't need to unlock from the core. The core itself reorients. One, the crust does not touch the core. It touches the mantle, and it absolutely does unlock from the mantle. And no, while I do recognize that there are possibilities for core in whole earth flips, it is just so much easier to explain everything with the crust being unlocked from the mantle. That's actually like legitimate physics and math. You have to kind of reach, not into fantasy land, but you do have to reach a little bit to get the whole earth, including the core, to turn over. Does the compression of the magnetic field recover immediately post CME, or is there a delay before it returns to full strength? Those are kind of two different things. The compression does recover immediately once the CME passes, but when the CME passes, you can have 1, 2, up to 3 days of geomagnetic storms and reverberations. So the way you phrase that, does the compression recover or does it return to full strength immediately? Those are kind of two different timelines within. Anyway. No, the path of the moon cannot save you on the surface. Status with Kong Papu Yen. He's on the other side of the planet and not talking to anybody from America anymore. He got a lot of shit for helping me and co-authoring that paper with me. And they basically ran him out of NASA, ran him out of the country. The Jesus respond had me rolling. I know, right? Let me see. Text me back. Nope, just you, Nate. Thank you for the work you do. Michelle, thank you for the support. Appreciate you very much. Nate, by the way, when are you going to bring over that paper for me to read? You said something about 23 million year cycle a while back. Dang, good memory. Is that a wave from the center of the universe? Also, cardio, LOL. Center of the universe, I actually don't know where the center of the universe is. Nobody really does. I think the 23 million year cycle is probably having more to do with Earth's actually traversing through the galaxy. So like the galactic current sheet in the 12,000 year cycle is the galactic electric field hitting our planet every 12,000 years. But don't forget, Earth does go around, and it moves actually at a slightly different pace than the spiral arms. It wouldn't shock me if every 23 million years was the time frame that we went into or out of the spiral arms of the galaxy. Good question, John. Can't believe you remembered that. Has the southern magnetic pole split? I've heard 2 reports that it has. No link. Sorry, didn't save. Now, I haven't heard anything about the southern magnetic pole splitting. Also, Earth has a dipole, a quadrupole, and an octopole. People find out about the quadrupole and the octopole, and they're like, Earth's poles have split. No. When you have a north-south dipole, it automatically creates the secondary polar features. And this is on Earth, on the sun, in a laboratory. If your kid has a magnet, it does that too. I'll look into that, okay? Captain Ron. Seriously, though, Michelle, thank you very much. My tinnitus worse this week, perhaps due to solar events. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. CC, yes, I'm grumpy. All right. I got to ask this. Mr. House Party 6, what does -1 EA mean? Can you guys see this? This dude posts this on my comment section every day. -1 EA, no spaces. What does that mean? Can somebody tell me what that is and what it means? Anybody? Bueller. So happy to actually catch a live one. So happy you're here, Shannon. Happiest of holidays to you, Kat, and the kiddos. Right back at you, Shannon. Thank you very much. I received the book and ordered the other. Sue. That's what I'm talking about. Good stuff. See any auroras over there, Ben? No, it was cloudy. Can you hear a CME when it hits the Earth, or does it emit a sound? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's an interesting question, though. Thank you, Ben. I've watched your channel for several years. Mama Bear, thank you for being here and for watching. Still want to know what this -1 EA thing is. Wait, you mean the Earth is a giant magnet? Says the guy who knows darn well it is. After the cataclysm and we can come out from underground, how do we navigate? Stars will not be in their normal positions, or they will not be able to be seen and land recognizable. Where are you trying to navigate to? Where are you trying to go? Cities are gone. The coastlines have probably changed. If you have a compass, it'll tell you where north, south, east, west is. And the stars in the sky, while they won't be exactly the same as before the Earth tilt, you'll probably be able to recognize some of the constellations. And while the Earth tilts, it's not like the universe tilts. So you would still technically be able to develop a system in that way. T. Cole, is that for real? That -1 EA means Jesus translate? Or are you just telling him Jesus translate? I don't know. I've watched about 25 of the videos, but I don't remember if you ever suggested which chapter of Revelation this may occur in. I believe it's 16. Well, Revelation 16:8 is definitely going to be part of this. The fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and the power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. Would a pole barn covered with typical metal barn steel sheets make a good Faraday cage? I don't know. I don't know. I'm certainly not a Faraday cage expert. Ernesto, hello, and thank you. Did you mention the moon base that NASA is currently planning by 2040? No, I didn't mention it. And what would I say about it if I did? Is Nebulosity trying to talk to me or somebody else? Probably somebody else. If you had control over the resources of a nation, how would you prepare society for the event? I would tell them about it. That's for sure. Ben, would you want to see an archangel? Yes. Yes. Have you looked into the Hindu Vedas and the... That scroll went away very quickly. Have you looked into the Hindu Vedas and the Yuga cycle? Yes. The Yuga cycle is slightly off. They're very close. You know, Stormy, there are times where I wish I hadn't made that Safe Zones vid. It has caused more problems and more questions than it has fixed things or given answers. I honest to God wish I'd never made that video. Denver sucks. Are we being lied to about everything space related? No, we're being lied to about some things space related. Around what time Aurora be seen tonight? When it's dark. The Aurora hasn't stopped since like 14 hours ago. It's been going on nonstop. What translation of the Bible do you read? First of all, I have so many different copies of the Bible. It is fun to compare and contrast. The newer it is, the worse it is. Can I just say that? I just put it that way. It's a 2,000-year-old game of telephone. Every new person the message goes to, you're going to lose a little bit. Denver sucks. Lied about UFOs. So they've been lying about UFOs nonstop. They've obviously been lying to us about them for decades. But also the stuff that just came out of our government about UFOs is the biggest crock of horse shit I have ever seen. I don't buy a single one of it. Every single whistleblower. Absolutely not. Every lie tell, every deception tell in the book. You'd think that they would have been prepped better by the alphabet agencies that sent them up there to give us that BS. Can you overlay the... No. Scientists say the last Earth magnetic pole flip happened 700,000 years ago, but they also say it happens every 250,000 years. So even they say we are in the red zone. First of all, you are talking, Robert Jarris, or Gerals, you're talking about a full Cron magnetic reversal. You are not discussing geomagnetic excursions. Those happen at a large scale every 12,000 years, and then a mini event on the half cycle every 6,000 years. Please distinguish and know what you're talking about. Will there be more severe weather after the event? After the micronova? Yeah. Yeah. Is there any way to use this storm to gauge our current magnetic field strength to compare to from past ones? No, I wish there was. We did take 2 impacts, like about 6 or 7 hours apart. That counts as a 1-2 punch, consecutive impacts. I am not at all surprised that we got a KP7 event. I am very much looking forward to see exactly how low the Auroras got, simply to see if we're going to add to the record number that we've already had this year. Denver sucks. Ben, I remember when you more or less thumbed your nose at your good book. What happened? Why the change of attitude? First of all, you must be talking about something a long, long time ago. And it was probably in response to people just spamming my comment section with religious stuff on a day when it didn't make any sense. But also, once the science made very clear how the disaster cycle works, it was very obvious that this is exactly what is described in the Bible. And not just the Bible, others as well. Do you know any European scientists that have worked with you and can share information about the Flippin micronova in terms of a European point of view regarding safety? So this is tough. After seeing what happened to Kong Papu Yen when he co-authored the paper with me, got ran out of NASA, ran out of the country. Dr. Holloman, the other co-author, was the lead of the statistics department at Ohio State. And he got run out of Ohio State. Luckily, he landed at Duke, so not exactly life-ruining. But there's absolutely no way I'm going to be sharing names or anything like that of any of the professors or people at NASA, NOAA, the USGS that are in my inbox and that are helping me on a regular basis. Why would I do that? Why would I throw them under the bus? Why would I expose them to that kind of potential for negative blowback when they're literally helping us? So yes, I do know people like that. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be given any names. That would be super uncool of me. Aaron, hello again, my friend. Did I miss any super chats? I don't think I did. Okay, going back down. Lady says Denver might suck. Minneapolis sucks more. Reasonable minds can differ, my friend. Are you looking forward to data from the Sunrise mission? Yes, cautiously. If they get too much evidence that it is literally an entirely electrical process, they ain't going to give it to us. They just won't do it. But I am thinking that Sunrise has the potential. For those who don't know, Sunrise is a 6 satellite constellation that's entire purpose is to study the explosive events on the sun. And who wouldn't be excited about that? In your opinion, is there a possibility of a Kessler syndrome event happening during a geomagnetic G4 storm if it happens to cause satellite lag? I don't know what Kessler syndrome event is. I don't have any idea what that is, actually. Fine, I'm going to go look it up. Phenomenon in which the amount of junk in orbit around Earth reaches a point where it just creates more and more space debris. Oh, I know what that is. I had no idea that's what it was called. Maybe, yeah. Back in 2003, during the Halloween solar superstorm, they lost contact with half of the satellites up there. Now, they were able to regain it fairly quickly. But what if they hadn't? And think about how many more are up there now. So I'm going to go with a big maybe on that one. Oh, scroll too far. Hiya, Ben. Way cool seeing you this eve, and highs to all. Dumpster Diving Dragon, always good to see you around here. Question, what determines where the auroras can be seen? I'm in Tennessee right now. I'm just trying to find out if they can be seen from my location. Go outside and look. Like, if you're trying to find this on the internet, one, as I mentioned before, every aurora forecast is just a wild guess. They are all complete shit. And you could literally spend hours and hours and hours looking for this online and find 0 good answers. How long is it going to take you to walk out the door? Go outside and look. Calvin, hello, my friend. T. Cole, what's your most anticipated research space mission that is in the works? I don't know. I'm still hopeful that either MMS or Swarm is going to give us data, but of course, those are not in the works. Those are active. Other than that, one begins to lose faith in the officials after a while. What makes the polar ice heavier than the water weighted distributed around the rest of the globe when the mantle unlocks? So rock and crust weigh more than water, especially when they are largely waterlogged. And the ice at the polar region is on top. We're not talking sea ice. We're talking ice on top of Greenland, ice on top of eastern Antarctica. So we're talking about stuff below it that already weighs more than an ocean would, and then you dump ice on top of that. I understand your question, though, Ken Smith. Fair enough. I hope I answered it well. Westy the White. Hey, Ben, you're the best Benerator. I'll take it. Top B. Is Elon Musk's car really floating around in space? Yeah, I actually think it is. There's no evidence to suggest that was fake. DD Deeper. Yes, the Carrington app does show an aurora map. I love the Carrington app. Some people also call it the DPA. Whichever version you have, they're fantastic, and you should have it on your phone. But even still, like, it's not generating its own aurora map. Those are provided by NASA, NOAA, and a couple other places. And again, it's good that it has those within the app. Everything that's in the app is fantastic. But I also know that they're wrong all the time. The auroral oval maps are wrong all the time. What are your thoughts on the Russian bolt flip? You mean the Jennebekov effect? Would putting an object in orbit of it while it spins change the rate when it flips? I don't know. It's a good question. Fair enough. Also, the T handle would act different from a cross, would act different from an amorphous blob. It's certainly an interesting thing. Some people call that the tennis racket theorem, or the second axis instability, or whatever. Its official name is the Jenebekov effect, which interestingly enough begins with a D if you're trying to spell that. Maybe. What do you think of James Webb? What kind of question is that? Thanks, you're funny. Did just go out and look, and it's raining here. Yeah, if it's raining or cloudy, the answer is no. You cannot see the aurora. You're welcome to go try, though. Thank you for all you do. Patty, thank you for being here. Appreciate you very much. Auroras do not really increase Geiger activity. That'd be cool if they did. That'd be an easy way to tell when they were over your head. I find Archaics compelling. Thoughts? Question mark. Did you see the interview I did with him? We overlap on several things. His timeline of the Earth, I have absolutely no reason in the world to agree with, and I also don't believe we're in a hologram. I don't have any reason to think that as well. Oh, and here's the other thing. If we are in a hologram, let's just presume we're in a hologram. Now, let me come over and punch you in the face. The fact that it's a holographic reality doesn't change the fact that you're in a load of pain after that. Maybe missing some teeth. Maybe missing some structural integrity in your cheekbones. I do not believe we're in a hologram. Respect to Archaics, but we disagree there. And if we are in a hologram, what difference does it make? Really, think about it. No request, just thanks for your work, Animator. Thank you. Maggie, thank you for the teal pair. Desalinating. Denver sucks. What can we do about increased anxiety as the field decreases? Sack it up. You even know about it, apparently. So your brain can have a way around it. Look yourself in the eye in the mirror. And I don't mean just look at your face or look around your eyes. Look yourself dead in the black centers of your eyes and tell yourself you are powerful. This is just energy. Anxiety is just electrons moving around in your brain and ion channels, and you are stronger than it. Seriously, go do that and believe it. Think about the placebo effect. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, I know what the placebo effect is. This little mundane thing. No, that's you think something that is not real, and yet the rules of biology, chemistry, and physics bow to your false thoughts and create that actual reality. That's called magic, sorcery, wizardry. Use it. Anxiety. Thank you again for creating the DPA. Appreciate that. I hope you do know that now the DPA is and the Carrington app is controlled by Todd Kleckner of 9rese, 9rese.com. And he's doing a fantastic job. In fact, he and I were texting each other last couple of days over what we were seeing on the sun and what we were expecting here on Earth. It is in good hands, put it that way. I watch your YouTube videos every day. Most of what you post is way over my head, but I must hear your eyes open. No fear. Be safe, everyone, each day. All right, Susan, I'll take it. Thank you very much for the support. We're not going to go too much longer, guys, by the way. Third eye, is that a real thing? Yes. I'm not going to go into it any more than that. Just yes. Yes, Rob Painless, he is. And it's good to see you, my friend. Sue Erickson, thank you for the teal pear. Thank you for the teal pear. Desalinating. All right. Look at this question from IHEB space TN. Is the sun affected by Nibiru's? Oh, did some nebulosity sniped you? I'm going to go read it anyway. Is the sun affected by Nibiru's magnetic energy so that happens? Dude, Nibiru's not real. It's not here. It's not a thing. Who hurt you? Got my book. Thank you. From Estrogen Acres. I like your username and I like your message. Yeah, seriously though. Nibiru's not here. There's no Planet X. Did you get your shirt from the Freddy Krueger store? What if I did? Why don't we just say yes, I did? Once all the gators drown in the mega tsunami, Louisiana will be safe. I mean, yeah. Isn't that a funny thing to say to someone? Who hurt you? It completely changes the tone of just about anything. Oh, Digital Traveler says I'm such a cute sheep. Your mom thinks so too. Is Saturn coming back to life? I don't know. Mars sure is. Mars definitely is. Appreciate that. A wake up. Appreciate that. All right. Did you get the claws too? No. All right. Looking for questions. Looking for questions because I'm not going to be here that much longer. Denise, hello, my friend. Well, you're here now. Good to see you. All right, I got a question, guys. Should we keep the beard? Should we keep this going, or should we go clean? I can tell you this is not going to be a long thing, and I asked this on Twitter. Not really giving a shit what people thought. I just kind of wanted to see what their opinions were, and I was actually planning on shaving this today. And then somebody was like, "No, you should shave the top of your head, so you look like Ragnar Lothbrok." And I was like, did anybody see I found a reason to put Ragnar's I'm the King speech on Twitter the other day? My God, is that the most testosterone boosting speech you've ever seen in a TV show or what? Holy crap. What does a king do? Bien. Fan from the Philippines since Typhoon Haiyan 2013. I remember that one. Been telling my friends and family here about solar storms and thought I was crazy. Now they're starting to think I'm making sense. Typhoon Haiyan in 2013 was one of the most obviously solar storm driven disasters I've ever seen. And I've looked. Believe it or not, I've looked. I have never seen anything like Typhoon Haiyan. That was psychotic. It should not have been more than a little tropical low that had the gentle rainfall of God coming and growing your crops. No. Sun blasted us, and it just surged out of nowhere. Nobody thought it was going to do what it ended up doing. King Ragnar. Martin says, what's Kat's opinion on the beard? And that's what a lot of people are saying, like, do what Kat says, do what Kat says. Do you know what Kat says when I ask her about stuff like that? Something to the effect of, shut up, faggot, do what you want. She's a G. Denise, sorry. I didn't see your comment, but yeah, Kat doesn't care. She does not care. By the way, anybody who's upset about that, me using the word faggot just a moment ago, does anybody remember when that word was just like the coolest word to use ever? And the thing is, like, if you're my age, like, you grew up using it all the time, but you never, ever used it on somebody who was gay. You never called a gay person a faggot. You called someone a faggot when they were being a faggot. Do you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, I hope it's okay because I was describing something somebody said to me. If you had to put a wild guess on the year we go dark, what would your best bet be? I'm going with 2027 to 2032 only because it's fun to think about. I do not have a best guess. I still do believe we are going to make it through this sunspot cycle. No tats on head, please. So first of all, let me just say this. If I do shave my head and go Ragnar Lothbrok, I will do the tattoo thing. Unquestionably. And I will walk around talking like him too. I will just pretend everybody I meet is a member of the show. It doesn't matter what their name is. I'm going to call them Bjorn or Floki or Rollo. What are the main forces causing all the severe weather like flooding all around the world? Earth's magnetic pole shift enhancing space weather impact on Earth and causing the jet streams to go wonky. Could you imagine being a snowflake and watching this live stream? No more snowflakes. It's a good point. Somebody said Smear the Queer was an actual game we played as a child. People are getting soft. People are getting soft. Since I just quoted Mr. McDonald, we grew up watching South Park, Simpsons, Family Guy. How are we offended by anything? How are we not the hardest mentally group of individuals ever? Ben, what are your thoughts on the effects of an induction on springs? Your normal solar storm, virtually nothing. The micronova, as I mentioned before, the waters below will come forth. All right, it appears I've missed some super chats. Tiger, thank you for the teal pair. Kimmy, no, thank you. HAARP admitted the early November auroras was them. No, they did not. No, they did not. I am very well aware of what HARP does. Everything they do. Why? Because I'm very interested in how the ionosphere is excited and its reactivity to different things. HARP can affect an area about 30 square miles above Gakona and nothing else. And when they do affect it, it is visible on critical frequency readers, ionosondes. It's visible on radar. It's visible on literally everything. They can't hide it. I watched them doing it on different devices. It had a teeny, minuscule little effect. Tiny. And do you know how fast it recovered? 0.3 seconds after they turned off the transmitter. And guess what? That wasn't the time when the auroras showed up. Ouroboros, Stargate. You do not know about which you speak. Silencio, por favor. HARP admitted. Oh, so a radar dish admitted something. What language did it speak? Bleep, bloop, bleep. Not to mention the fact that nothing in their press releases or their science data or the papers they're publishing said anything remotely close to the, like, why just say things? Why? Beavis and Butthead, but I'm old and I love your necklace. Beavis and Butthead is another one. How is anybody offended at anything? Good point, Denise. For those who have questions about HARP, it was a big time secret. They thought it was going to be something. And then every single thing they tried to do failed. Captain Ron, hello, thank you. Sam, thank you for the teal pair. Then in the span of 90 days, oh my God, wait a minute, it's not a secret anymore. We've got a History Channel episode. We've got 4 books on it. We've got Jesse Ventura, actor / politician, super, super credible, telling us here's an enemy on a silver platter. Go scream about it on the internet. Not to mention all of these insiders risking their lives to tell everyone about it. Meanwhile, they are all still alive and just fine. Their goal was to make people on the internet talk about HARP in this way so that everybody who actually was in a position or had the knowledge to actually get in on the discussion would look at the people talking about HARP and be like, you're fucking stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. And they won. They succeeded. Congratulations. That's why the term HARPtard exists. I'm not a big fan of calling people retards. I'll call someone a HARPtard all day. All day. You deserve it. Saw a few articles on news sites that said SpaceX rockets piercing the atmosphere were causing red skies and other atmospheric events to happen. That is absolutely true, but it is only in the areas where they pierce, and that recovers within about an hour. Not a big deal at all. Oh, G. Norman, 1980 says your science is wrong. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Genius, wise one. Come illuminate us. Tell us everything that you know. But if you do, I get to make you look stupid and not feel bad about it. Deal? We await your dissertation, G. Norman. Could the toxic fumes from the derailed trains cause the respiratory problems? They could cause some respiratory problems. Ben, do you think Franco Harris caught that football? Dude, you know I'm from Pittsburgh, don't you? Damn right. Damn right he did. Joseph, hello, and thank you. All right. I'm trying to keep up with the questions here, but it's now no longer questions. It's just people talking about random stuff. Ben, did you take the family to McCormick Stillman Park Lights? I don't know what that is. I like how I thought you were from Denver. No, I am not from Denver. I live in Colorado Springs. Denver sucks. All right. Well, this has become a something of a clusterfuck here in the chat. This whole chat is a drunk grumble. It really is. What's the lunar wave? Something they faked with Adobe. Guys, I don't know how you guys get so fooled by this crap on the internet. The lunar wave was not a real thing. That was a hoax. That didn't really happen. Come on, guys. Ben, yes, when you're on the north elope of AK, Alaska, or out on the ice within the Arctic Circle, you can hear the aurora and feel it. Oh, are you talking about the crackling sound that people have heard? I have heard that. I would say that's different than the sound of a CME hitting Earth. That would be the aurora, the energetic particles reacting into the upper atmosphere. But yeah, I am aware of that. It's similar to the crackling sound if you're by high voltage wires and you can actually hear them crackling. Elton, that's a solid super chat right there. Yeah, I would buy that. I've never heard that. I would never try to deny that that's a real thing. I believe that 100 times out of 100. Does the plasma from CMEs get past the atmosphere? No, but the induction does. You guys are going to make me start drinking here on the show. And I don't drink. But you guys are making me wish I drank right now. Do I at least like John Denver? I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say. It's not my personal cup of tea. When the sun turns red before the micronova, how long before the micronova impacts Earth? I imagine it's going to turn red, then black over the course of about 1 to 3 days. And then maybe another 1 to 3 days of it being black. Metal springs. Oh, asking about metal springs in induction events. Would they regain or retain their springiness? Yeah, unless they melted. Darlene, no, you didn't. You just don't understand cloud reflectivity. How exceptional is this corona hole? Seems large. Fair question. It's one of the largest ones so far this sunspot cycle, but if you go back to last sunspot cycle, I would say we probably had 5 or 6 that were bigger than this and probably another 5 or 6 that were the same size. But yeah, this is a solid corona hole that's facing Earth right now, jacking up the seismic watch, which should be going on for the next 2 or 3 days. And its solar wind should probably arrive here Sunday night or Monday. At which point the geomagnetic activity from the current CME should have waned away. We hope. Faster than light, your take. Aaron, I don't understand your question. Faster than light, your take. I'm willing to bet you're trying to ask something there, but I don't understand what you're trying to say. Please forgive me on that, but I really appreciate you. I've seen your name show up a bunch of times, and I do appreciate the support. Would it be worthwhile to keep functional steam engines around after the event? Couldn't hurt. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, like, if you got to really go out on a limb and put yourself in a rough position to get one, no, don't do it. If you have access to one or you already have one, don't be like, oh, micronova's coming, I better throw this away. Keep it around. Yeah. Why not? Thoughts on humans' recent lack of grounding and the impact that will have during the event, considering surviving ancestors would have been grounded? Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. I know our lack of grounding has got to have something to do with some of the health problems cropping up recently. In terms of when the micronova hits, my brain could go either way. My brain could be like, yes, you need to be solidly grounded to make sure you're not taking massive effects. But also, what if there's a huge induction surge where you are? I mean, it's the same idea as it's better to be in a car during a lightning storm than standing outside holding a golf club up in the air. You know what I mean? So in that case, you don't want to be grounded. You want to be insulated and isolated. And so, awesome question. And I hope you can forgive my open-mindedness to different directions. Awake Up says, do you have a Faraday cage for electronics just in case? I do not. I don't fault anybody for wanting to go in that direction, but I am planning for pre-electrical society. How low alt do you think Aurora will make it? So first of all, the worst part of the storm is already over. That was this morning. It was seen in Japan. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of people looking for auroras out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So we may not actually know the full depth of the current auroral activity, which is unfortunate. But yeah, the auroras that America and Europe will see tonight, they won't be as strong as what happened last several hours, I would say. Is it possible to travel faster than light? What's your take? I would have to probably guess yes. I am ultra suspicious of that being some kind of cosmic speed limit. Plus, if you look up longitudinal force, that's pretty much instantaneous over a medium, regardless of distance. So yeah, I mean, I can't give you specifics, and I don't want to go too deep into that, but I would have to say, if you're like putting me on the spot, Ben, yes or no, is it possible? Even though we don't have the technology, we don't have the knowledge, is it possible to somehow go faster than light? I would probably say yes. Ben and all SO souls, stay strong and true. Thank you for all being mindful of the load Ben and Kat do carry. Yeah, we do carry a little bit. A little bit. I have nothing smart to say. Here's a donation. Love your work, Craig. That's very funny, and you are much appreciated. Bessid Great or B Sid Great. If I'm butchering that, I'm sorry, but thank you very much. Good to see you here. Prison door default as locked in power outage. Yes, it is. Marty, thank you for the teal pair. I'm just trying to catch up on the super chats right now so I can play with my children. My wife has a TBI. I don't know what that is. I can absolutely confirm it gets worse. Traumatic brain injury. I can absolutely confirm it gets worse during the storms. Thanks for all your work. I watch daily. Sorry to hear that, Bradley. Hoping for the best for you and for her. St. Nicholas, you are much appreciated, and that is going to just about do it. There was times this was a shit show. I found a way to say the word faggot on the live stream, which was fun. We'll see if my YouTube channel exists tomorrow. And we did manage to get some pretty good questions in there as well. Yeah. Made some people look stupid. Got a little salty. Got desalinated. Next time, say the C word. Ha. Maybe. Maybe I'll show up with a shaved head and head tattoos. Maybe I'll just do the Ragnar I'm the King speech right here on live stream. Wouldn't that be a fun way to start us off? There's Aurora probably settling Ventus Sky app. There's an auroral probability setting at Ventus Sky app. Yeah, but again, it's just a guess. It's not accurate. None of the auroral forecasts are very accurate. Denver sucks. I will see you guys in the morning. Be safe, everyone.